So hi world, welcome to my channel, and welcome to The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, Season 2. I guess you can't count Season 2 because, fitting. I just clocked that. The motorcycle, Daryl's motorcycle that he always rides on. Is that a sign from the universe? I start the video about Daryl and then Daryl passes on the street. Okay, but now shut up because I wanna speak. But yeah, so it's called the Book of Carol, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily season 2. I think it's just the Book of Carol. But technically, it is season 2. But instead of the season 2, it's the Book of Carol. But it kind of means the same thing. So yeah, the first episode of the Book of Carol, I guess, which I love that name, and especially after we got in the first episode. We got a lot of Carol. And that's kind of what I wanted to see, if they were going to show a lot of Carol, if they weren't. But yeah, we did get a lot of Carol. So it is kind of the book. And because we did get like flashbacks and stuff, it's like the book. We're going to her story. She's finding Daryl. Daryl has always been there since the beginning, her and him. So they got a lot of history together. So it makes sense that they would call it the Book of Carol. That's like a super smart idea, to call it Book of Carol and then go literally through their story and her story, kind of like a book, until they reunite again and make new stories. That's so cool. But yeah, so the first when the episode started, I'm like, and I just saw a reaction, and she thought the same thing. Katie, which she does the reaction to The Walking Dead. I feel like she's the more famous for doing the reactions to The Walking Dead. Like, The Walking Dead is her thing, nobody else's. And so she said, "Oh, we're gonna pick up where we left off," and I also thought so, because we saw the scene of Laurent like talking to Daryl, and he was on the beach, and he was like going away. But then it just, it kind of, we kind of like a time jump. I don't think they said it. Did they say it was like 2 weeks? Why do I feel like they said 2 weeks? I don't know. I didn't point it out, so I feel like they didn't say the time. But yeah. So he was training Laurent. I want to say Laurent so bad. I love doing the Laurent. So he was training Laurent so he could be stronger. But I don't understand why he was training him. I kind of don't remember a lot of season 1. But he was supposed to be immune, right? Because he was born with the corpse of a zombie. Something like that. Right? But I don't know what he's training him for. Maybe they were all training, and he's just training Laurent. Maybe it's just for him to be stronger. I don't get it. But then, for the plot, he kind of just fell and just stood there. He was like on the floor going backwards. It was like, "Help, help." I'm like, "Can you not get up? Hello, you lost your balance. Get up again." That's how it works, right? But they do a lot of stuff for the plot, so I feel like it doesn't even matter, like, pointing that out, but whatever. So yeah, I guess that's kind of all we got from the beginning. Obviously, there were a lot of scenes. They were talking about the ones that got kidnapped and whatnot, and that they wanted to get them back, whatever. I guess this is a lot of, dramatics. A lot of dramatics going on. But, we're used to The Walking Dead, so there's always something happening. So, yeah. Yeah. And then we go to Carol, and, I was already so excited. Because, it's, I don't know, in a way I kind of want to say that she's Mother, but then she is kind of older than Mother. She's giving grandma. She's giving grandmother. She's giving grandmother. But like the feeling, I'm not saying that she looks older or anything. Because she literally looks the same as she did. How many years ago was The Walking Dead? 14, 15? And she looks the same. So, girl, what's the routine? What's the routine? Is it the stress from The Walking Dead, from being on the show? That's a good thing. Over time, that becomes a good thing. The stress. Gotta be. They all look good. So they did something as a cast so that they all look good. Literally, Maggie, Negan, Rick, Michonne, Girl, what the fuck? They all look the same. What the fuck? But okay, back to what I was saying. So she was being a badass, of course. I literally wrote that Carol being a badass. Cause when is she not being a badass? And I love she encounters a new person, and the first thing she does is play the victim. I love that because for a long time she was criticized by being, weak, especially her husband, that motherfucker from season one, whatever. I don't even remember if he was alive in season one. Was he? I feel like he wasn't. Maybe he died in season one. I don't remember well. But yeah, especially him. So now every time that she needs, that's what the fuck she's gonna do. She's gonna play the victim, and then she's gonna outsmart every motherfucking person in the room. That's what she's gonna do. Okay. So yeah, and then they said he was on a boat to France, and it's like whatever. Yeah, like Katie said, she just rolled with it. Like they just said all of that information. Oh, he messed with these people. They put him on the boat. He went to France. And she's like, oh, okay, great. Let's go to France. Like period. Like why wouldn't you? Like let's go get Daryl. I want to go, Carol. Take me to. And then what do I say? Oh, because they said the French were looking for walkers. And I had to point that out because like, okay, so they came to America on purpose, and they said it was the only boat that they've seen in a long time. So it's not like they were doing a lot of trips. They just did one trip to America. Maybe they went to other places. Yeah, but they went to America because they probably wanted another variation of the virus to experiment on. They wanted to see how the virus was on the zombies in America to compare them to other zombies. Because in season one of Daryl, they were doing experiments. And then we saw at the end of The Walking Dead. Wait, was it? No, it wasn't at the end of The Walking Dead. It was at the end of World Beyond. Yes, they were like speaking French, and they were looking at the videos from season one of The Walking Dead, the doctor. It was World Beyond. Yeah. So yeah, they had that variant that was really strong, but they never showed another variant like that. And then even the variants that they showed in season one of Daryl weren't the same, and they were still like they were showing the experiments. But we also didn't get like a date from when that scene was being, like the time of that scene, like when was that girl killed that she was watching the videos? How did she have the videos in France? When did that happen? Because that could happen but after Daryl. That could happen in the future. And what we're seeing in Daryl is how we get to that stronger variant. Ooh, that's a good theory. Because that's gonna fuck some shit up, because it's still like, what are we gonna do? Because we're not gonna get the movies, and we already got the ones who live. They got their happy ending. So is it possible to get a reunion of everybody? Because also they were renewed for season 3. So what are we gonna do in season 3? We can't be in France like 3 seasons. What are we doing? Like, is this Emily in Paris that she just got stuck there for 5 seasons? Literally the same. Yeah, maybe she's there. I hope she's a zombie. I don't like her. Anyway, moving on. She was listening to music in the car. Listen, that part was so funny. She just ride in the car and listening to music. I'm like, what is this? This is so like refreshing to see Carol like having a little bit of fun. Girl. Oh. I know it's kind of, it kind of sucks to hear somebody talk and they're like drinking or eating, but it's just, I gotta hydrate my vocal cords, okay? So every time I drink, just wait a second. Just look to the side and then look again, and I'm already speaking again. Okay? Every time I drink, I think of that. I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, ugh, that's gotta be annoying. But whatever, there's nothing I can do. Anyway, she was listening to music in the car or whatever, and she put the cassette of a guy talking. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, I would be irritated too, because like I just want to jam with some good music, and then we got this person speaking, not only speaking, but it's like it sounded like a sermon or whatever. You want me to breathe and do whatever, and I'm like, no, because you already ruined the vibe. You already ruined the vibe. We're not doing that. And so also what Katie realized is at the end of the episode, the way he was talking to Carol and he was saying breathe when they were on the plane. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I just want to say that. The way he was talking was the same way the person was talking on the cassette, the breathing thing. So he was the one that made that cassette of saying the breathing and whatever. So who did he make that for? Why was that in a random car? Because he made that place after his son died, right? But did he live on that area or is he from somewhere else? Because if he lived in that area, then it would make sense that he made the cassette, whatever, like a long time ago, and is still in the random car because he used to live there, and so it makes sense. Or maybe it was his car, but if it was his car, he would have recognized the car. No, because they didn't get to the car because he picked up Carol when she was going away. He picked her up before they get to their car. Yeah, they never went to check on the car. So maybe that was his car. Or he just made a cassette and was like his wife's. Oh my God, it could be the wife. Oh my God, I just realized. Because he said she bailed when the son was a baby. So what if it was the wife and she had the cassette to remember him by? Ooh, because maybe he made it for her. So that's her car. Oh, am I going too far or am I getting smart? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so then, yeah, he had the barn. And so I was like, okay, how are we going to do the scene? Something is going to happen that is going to trigger that. And so I thought it was going to be something bigger. Like, maybe she gets the friends and a child dies and they were in something similar of a barn. And then the child is coming out and she remembers a Sophia. I thought it was going to be something like that. But no, they just full on recreated the whole thing. And so the way Katie said it, she said it that it was a flashback, but she was like incorporated. So maybe they played the scene and she was on a green screen and they just masked her into the scene. But the way and the quality of the scene, I think it was all new. The zombie looked a lot like Sophia. So maybe they used the zombie. They used the footage of the zombie because she would have the color and everything like correctly, the clothes and everything. But the barn, I think they filmed in the same barn because obviously the barn that were in this episode wasn't the same as it was like on Herschel's farm. Like not even close. And in the flashback, the supposed flashback, the door was the same. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like they recreated everything in that place. It's kind of like they studied how that barn to try to make it look like the other barn and put the bodies and whatever. But because of the quality of the scene was really good. That's what I initially thought. I was like, yeah, it's all redone. It may be just the zombie of Sophia. Maybe they just used the footage. But then again, she didn't show her face. And I feel like in season 2 of The Walking Dead, we saw her face. So they purposely masked her because it was a stunt double doing the same thing. So I feel like they did recreate the whole thing. That's what it looked like. But it was cool. I mean, not cool because that, trauma. So not cool, but at the same time, cool. You know what I mean? It's not cool, but then it's cool. Yeah. I don't think I even said that his name was Ash, but if you are here and you watch the episode, then you already know. I feel like I should have said that. But because I put the notes, I don't even put them, in order or whatever. Because I also don't write everything down. It's just some little notes here and there just so I can keep up and some things that I want to talk about when I do the review. So, his name is Ash, obviously, and he's super fine. So, hey, actor that plays Ash, give me a call, hottie. Could you imagine actually being in the apocalypse and you run into him and he's like all alone. He has a really nice house. He has electricity, food, and he looks that good. Excuse me, we're gonna live there forever. I don't know if he's gay, but I don't care. I'm sucking him on the spot. Don't give two shits. I'm playing a Carol. I'm playing the victim, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so helpless. Can you help me? Yeah. Exactly. So then, oh yeah, and then obviously. Me hitting on him and then talking about his dead son. Oops. But yeah, so his son died, and so the way I thought it was gonna go is I thought he was gonna say, so obviously he said about the story about his son dying, whatever. So I thought, Carol's gonna relate to him, and he's gonna relate to Carol. That's gonna be the way, excuse me, that they are going to friends, right? It only makes sense. Both of their children died. I mean, Carol lost a lot more, but sure, she understands. So yeah, we both lost a child, so let's go to friends. We deserve a trip to Paris. We lost a child. Let's have some fun in Paris, okay? But yeah, no. But let me not get ahead of myself because there's something before, which is the flower that it means hope. And I never rewatched The Walking Dead, and it's a lot. Like I watch the show and I watch everything, but to rewatch, I don't think I ever rewatched anything of The Walking Dead. So I don't know for sure. But like I said, this is Katie's show. This is Katie's universe. It's her. She's the mastermind. She's the reactor of The Walking Dead. She's the fan of The Walking Dead. Okay. So she saw the flower and she already knew. And the first thing she said was like, "Oh, is it like an Easter egg or something?" But then they actually acknowledged the flower and showed the flashback of Daryl. And that's cool because, for people that didn't rewatch the show or don't remember like me, it's cool to see the flashback. But then again, I don't remember when the flashback was because he said, I don't remember necessarily what he said, but I think it was like, a little hope for your little girl or whatever. So I don't remember if Sophia was alive or if it was after she died. Gotta be something like that. But then he had the same flowers, but obviously it's not a coincidence. It's a show, so they made it on purpose. So Ash had the same flower to her, but still cool to reference that and then complete it with the flashback. That was cool. And then yeah, I thought she was gonna open up because it would be cool to hear her actually talk about Sophia. But then she said, "Oh, he took her to France, and then the apocalypse started, and she stayed there." And I'm like, "Girl, you didn't need to lie. Like she could have said, yeah, Sophia died. Like I lost my child, like you lost yours. So now I'm looking for my friend, my best friend. I don't know why they aren't together, but let's go with best friend. He's lost and he's in France. Okay? I lost my child. I lost a lot of people since The Walking Dead started. This is her talking to Ash, by the way. I lost a lot of people since The Walking Dead started. Okay? So I can get my children back. Neither can you, but we can get my best friend back. Okay? And I know you have a home here, but you're stuck here because you're stuck with the grave of your child. He in a way he was kind of, lucky to have that place and to be there, because if you think about it, all of the people that we lost in The Walking Dead, it's like I wish that we could just, go to their graves and visit them every day, but no. Like, look at everything that happened, and then a new villain, and then we have to run, and then we can, it's such a long like, I wish I could go to Sasha's. I wish I could go to Sasha's grave and say like, you didn't need to sacrifice yourself, Sasha. I love you, Sasha. You did not need to do that. I would go every day at the time she died to talk to Sasha. Love Sasha. Ugh, my baby Sasha. Love Sasha so much. But yeah. So yeah, that was cool. But then sure, with the plot, I mean, they had to go to France, so they had to destroy the place, which I don't think it was necessarily necessary to destroy the place. I feel like it could have been one of those things that maybe when they get back, they, like, Ash can continue with the place. But I feel like by destroying the place, it means that Ash doesn't have a home technically to get back to. So if he does survive the season, which I'm worried he doesn't, because he's just a side character and he has nothing else. And then they go to France, and then now he doesn't have literally anything else, because at least Carol has Daryl, but the rest, they don't have anything else. So I am a little bit scared that he's gonna die. So yeah. So either he dies, or they come back and he goes to Alexandria with us because he doesn't technically have a home. Maybe he can visit the grave, like, give it a final closure, a final goodbye to his son, and then go to Alexandria, like something like that. So that would have been cool. But I really don't like that she lied, because she literally could have said, I lost my child and I lost other children after that. That was not the only one. And he understands that pain. So let's get my best friend back, because I can't handle losing him too, like I did my children. Okay? So Ash, get your ass up and let's go to friends. But no, she had to lie. And that's gonna backfire. And it's not gonna be little. And then they're gonna be in a different country. Ash doesn't have anything. He didn't even have anything in America, let alone France. So imagine you taking another person to a different country to find the child, and they were lying to you. Even if the child isn't the child and it's another person, she's still looking for a person. So in a way, you could say that she's just lying about who she's trying to find. So, but she's still trying to find someone. But put yourself in Ash's shoes. You take a person to a different country in the apocalypse, in the middle of a storm, and they're lying to you. Now think about that. That's why I feel like he's gonna find out, and then he dies, and then he like forgives her. As he's dying, he forgives her, and he says, "It's fine, Carol. At least you find Daryl, or go find Daryl." I don't know, something like that. So I'm scared, but yeah. And then in the midst of all this, and mind you, this was all Carol. All of this time basically was Carol. So I really love that we saw a lot of Carol, and I hope episode 2 continues with more Carol. I want more. But yeah, while this was happening, they did the ambush, whatever, to get the people back, and it was like so easy, and I'm like, okay. Oh, that's it? Oh. I was like, oh, is that it? Because at first the bomb didn't explode, and I'm like, okay, of course it wouldn't go, of course something would go wrong. Duh. We're watching the show, a drama series at that. So of course something was going to go wrong. But then they just shot everybody and got the people back. And I'm like, okay, that's it. Oh, cool. And then we got the shot from the trailer, which was her laughing, bloody, whatever. And he was going to shoot her. I didn't actually think he was going to shoot her. I thought it was going to be one of those things that it's going to be a walker behind her, and he's going to shoot the walker, and we're going to think it's her, but then it's going to pan to her, and it's not going to be her. But no, the bomb exploded later, and then she just ran. Because she had really a lot of time, and she was injured. So, of course, she had 2 seconds to run while injured after a bomb exploded. Before the plot, sure. But she needs to be a villain, so, and she's the one doing the experiment. So, in a way, I kind of wanted them to kill her right now, but too ambitious of me, I guess, in the first episode. But we need an antagonist, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see how the experiments and everything else goes, because that was something in season 1. So we'll see how they do it in season 2. Also, let's see if they get to Friends by the episode 2. I don't know how long it's gonna take. So yeah. And then yeah, I mean, I guess that's the last thing. Like it kind of ended with them on the plane with the storm destroying the place. I kind of said that already. Maybe I should have, I got ahead of myself. Whatever, it's fine. Like I said, if you're here, you watched the episode already, so. And yeah, it ended with them on the plane. So he was speaking like the guy in the cassette. So maybe he did a cassette, yeah, because he was living there. But another question: if the car was with the people that were like in that yard, whatever, that Carol attacked. If the car was there and the cassette was there, that's a connection to Ash, first. Second, if he was riding the plane all of those days, how did the people in that yard, whatever they were, how did they not hear the plane if he was going every day? Second. And then third, if the French came in the boat to get walkers the whole time they were there, They didn't see a plane. They didn't question, oh, there's a plane. Because then he said, after his son died, he found the plane. He found all the pieces. Pieces. I don't know why sometimes some words sound weird, but whatever. He found some pieces of the plane, and then he put a plane back together. I'm supposed to believe that he put a whole plane back together. No, especially if he didn't know. You're not gonna. If he would have said, "Oh, I learned to fly the plane," I'm like, okay, sure, believable. You saw the manual, you saw how to do it, you do it every day, sure. But he put the plane together. He found the manual on how to put a plane together, and he said he found some pieces. So what if there were different pieces from two planes that don't go together? How did he suddenly found pieces that all go together? I mean, sure, it could be a coincidence. It could be his son from the afterlife that gave him the sign, whatever. But what if Carol lying is actually gonna help? Because he could be with the French and they gave him the plane in change of something else. Maybe he gave them something and they gave him a plane. And then he built the whole thing, the fuel, whatever, he had his home. Because he also had the generator. So you're going to tell me that those motherfuckers in that yard didn't find interest in a plane flying over them? Didn't find interest in the electricity that Ash had? They didn't know about any of that? Nothing? But they made a deal with the French because they paid them. So you don't think they were going to steal Ash's resources? Unless he was with them? So maybe Carol lying and saying she's trying to find Sophia is going to protect her in a way. Because he could still be lying. So let's keep that in mind. But yeah, that was the end. I'm going to watch episode 2 today. This review comes a little late because I didn't watch the episode last week. And then because I was creating the new channel and whatever, I just got to do it today. So today I will be watching episode 2, or maybe tomorrow or whatever. But the review for the second episode is going to be coming out also this week. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of this show, what you thought of season 1, what you think of season 2, your theories. Let's talk down below. And yeah, because I'll see y'all on maybe tomorrow, 2 days from now, for episode 2 review. And then the other ones is going to be one a week because that's when the episodes come out. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.